Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a beautiful night at Louisville Slugger Field right here in Louisville, Kentucky on America's birthday as Louisville City FC plays host to the Richmond Kickers. My name is Jim Womble, and alongside tonight, Dan Kessler. And Dan, I can't believe I missed last week's game as that was an offensive explosion.
You missed a beauty. 6 goals. It was like the floodgates open, and once they got a taste of a goal, they couldn't stop.
That's why, I actually did get to watch the game the day after. But if you're Louisville City right now, you're hoping that continues because they went. We talked about this, just before we got on the air, about 390 minutes without a goal during that stretch of roughly four scoreless games. Well, I think it's safe to say they woke up.
They did, and the interesting thing, that was the first time Louisville won a match after conceding a goal. They gave up the first goal, so everybody might have been thinking, here's another loss. But they kept to it, high pressure, coming off a good week of training. You can see that they had the legs underneath them, and they went after it, and they just kept on going and scoring, keeping the pace, and then once again, opening the floodgates once they got the leading goal, and along they went.
And of course, this is a big game for both sides. Is that we again talking about this earlier? Louisville City FC's got 23 points on the season through 14 games played. Richmond just ahead of them in third place with 26 points and 16 games played. So this is important for Louisville City. They obviously want to try and tie with Richmond. It would be huge going forward on the rest of the season. And Richmond, obviously, they want to extend the lead.
Yeah, it's a big game for both, obviously. If Richmond can win, they're 5 points ahead. Louisville can even it up with a victory today. Also, being at home, you don't want to give up points at home. You want to take the most max points you can. So that's what Louisville wants to do, especially on this 4-game home swing. They lost the first game to New York, won last week against Oklahoma City. So it's imperative to them, again, to keep the winning ways at home in this 4-game winning streak, or 4-game home streak.
So, yeah, that was something I was kind of curious to get into. As we talked about this earlier, you were looking at the schedule the rest of the way and saying right now, of course, Louisville City in the midst of that 4-game homestand, and what it looks like they only have 4 home games the rest of the way with about 12 total games left. So if you're Louisville City, what do you hope to do all the rest of the way?
Well, first, again, like I said, you want to win your points at home. Obviously, you go out to win every single game. The other interesting thing, too, is if you look at their schedule, there's a lot of week preparation in between the games. Prior to, Louisville was coming off of multiple games in a row, so the training was hard. They were on long bus rides, couldn't get their rest, their legs underneath it. O'Connor didn't use that as an excuse, but, again, the players were tired. They have to take the games, the schedule, the home games, and maximize the home points as much as they can.
Now, if you're Louisville City right now, based on last week's performance, that 6-2 absolute dominating performance, what do you hope to see? Do you hope to see continue that offensive onslaught, or just the consistent play?
I think you want to see both. I think you want to see the consistency. Once again, like we said, the players were tired. They had a week to train. They had a few days off. They could get back to what you're used to. Home, you're at home for a week, wake up in the same bed, go to sleep in the same bed, have a schedule that's the same. So mentally, they got better. Not just physically, but mentally they got better. So you saw that in Oklahoma City game last weekend, that you saw them pressure, their legs were underneath them, they're playing faster than they were used to, or what they did against New York the week before. So I think that's what you want to expect from them. Where's their legs and where there's head? Reduce the mental mistakes, which they had a few last week, but keep the pressure on in the attacking third. Make Richmond make mistakes, and I think if they can do that again today, you're going to see a good result.
Okay, and one other thing I want to touch on again, as you being your first game last week, so pretty incredible performance to see, but you said something about Matt Fondy that I found really interesting. Of course, he leads the team and the team captain, 9 goals on the season, 3 of them coming last week, but you said there was the first 10, 15 minutes of the game, he kind of disappeared?
Yeah, the first 10 or 15 minutes, they were playing it to him. He was finding the space. He was putting the pressure on the back, creating the mistakes. And then I felt he went away for a few minutes. Again, another 10 or 15 minutes, he kind of went away. and then all of a sudden he got back into the game. When he got back into the game, they high pressured. He was successful that way, and the team was successful that way as well.
And right now, as you can see on the screen, another look in the stands looking extremely packed tonight. Of course, anybody lucky enough to be here tonight, there are fireworks after the game, so that's always exciting. Right now you see the players lined up on the field, so we'll go through the starting lineups real quickly, starting with the Richmond Kickers. In goal, we've got Ryan Taylor, and in the back, William Yombi, Hugh Roberts, Jalen Robinson. In the midfield, we've got Samuel Asante, Fred Owosu-Sakiri, Alex Lee, Jared Jeffrey, Nate Schiffman, and up top, it's Matt Delicott and George Davis IV. Now for Louisville City, we've got the usual suspects in the starting lineup tonight. Scott Goodwin in goal. And in the back, Brian Burke, Enrique Montano, Connor Shanowski, Tariq Morad. In the midfield, Kadeem Dakers, Juan Guzman, Magnus Rasmussen, Charlie Adams, Aiden Quinn, and up top, number 9, Matt Fondy. Now, of those guys, who do you think is going to have the best chance of repeating the performance from the game beforehand?
You know, what I really liked last week was the way that Burke played in the back and meeting up with Dakers. Those two played out wide very well, and I feel like they can continue that. Charlie Adams, opposite, he found his way up into the offensive third quite often, and I think he could have a repeat game. I really think what the difference with them was they played out of the back very well. They realized that they could play the width, and I thought that's where Louisville was better than Oklahoma City was out on the wings, and they attacked the wing side of it. So you'll probably see that again tonight, attacking out on the wings.
And that's what they've been kind of doing all season, as Bob and I have always talked about the fact what Brian Burke and Kadeem Dakers do on the right side of the field. They literally terrorize defenses. As Burke's ability to go upfield and play off of Dakers really is second to none on this team. They have the best chemistry of anybody that we've seen. And a quick note, this is actually the second time the Richmond Kickers have played Louisville City, the first one being in Richmond, and that was a 1-1 draw. And that was the game where Gaia Ben went down. And of course, a little bit on social media, you probably saw the Coopers talking about this, as there's one player in particular who will remain nameless for now until he comes into the game. But the Coopers, not a big fan of the Richmond Kickers right now.
And you know, the fans can be like that. The players have to know and respect Richmond. Obviously, Richmond is a good team. They're leading them in the points. They've got a quality team. They haven't lost in 4 games. So you got to respect them.
And we'll take a quick pause here for the playing of the national anthem, live from Louisville Slugger Field in Louisville, Kentucky. Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen, once again into Louisville Slugger Field as Louisville City FC plays host to the Richmond Kickers. And what a beautiful rendition of the national anthem, a great way to celebrate America's birthday. And now, as you can see on your screens, though, this is something special from the Coopers. They have a suitable display for the night. They have a 15-star version of the U.S. flag in purple and white, appropriate, with smoke in the patriotic red, white, and blue, as well as our usual purple. The 15-star version dates to 1795, when the additional 2 stars were added to reflect the addition of Kentucky and Vermont. This year, they choose to commemorate that expansion of the Union, as these young stars on the field have come to represent the addition of Louisville City to the USL. Almost 300 people were involved in this, including those who designed it, those who put in the time to make it, and those holding the cards right now. And what a scene that really does, particularly with the smoke right there, Dan. That is a beautiful sight to see.
This fan club doesn't stop amazing me. First year, you got to get excitement in the club, and they've done that right off the bat. So kudos to them, the leadership in the group, the team itself for performing to get more and more fans behind them. But when they do this thing and represent not just the city of Louisville and Kentucky, but also paying respect to other states, that's awesome.
And right now we're almost moments away from getting this one underway as the smoke dissipating. And now I'll look at the Richmond Kickers as they get one last little group huddle before things go underway.
And if you're Louisville this week, I read where they are focusing on defense and training, trying to make sure they have a clean sheet tonight. That's one of their goals for the game tonight, obviously, is to keep a clean sheet every game. But they stressed that in training this week. And one of the things that they do want to look out for is Delicott up front, number 7. He has 6 goals. He leads Richmond this year. A very, very good player. He's got 2 winning goals as well. And again, they can score. They have 3 other players that have scored 4 goals each. So defensively, we're going to have to be on our A game. Louisville is to beat a very talented Richmond team tonight.
So if you're Louisville City right now, they have a second best in the league. They've only given up 14 goals on the season and scored 26. That's good for a 12 goal differential, plus 12. And Richmond Kickers right now have a plus 7. So if you're Louisville City, obviously you want to keep that underway. And we are underway here in Louisville Slugger Field as the Richmond Kickers in the away red, attacking from left to right. Now Kadeem Dakers into the box early, trying to get the attack started. Now he's working on the side. Gets that over to Guzman. Now Dakers gets it right back.
Once again, all created by high pressure right off the start of the game. Create a mistake from Richmond. Gives them quality, a little bit of movement up top.
And now Louisville City going to resettle and look to get things underway again as that ball misplayed by Dakers and Richmond wins it back. As that goes all the way back to Taylor, who sends that one in the midfield. Nobody's got it yet. Now Richmond maintains possession as they look to get things started. As Burke applying pressure and gets to the ball first and just rides that one out of bounds.
If you're a Richmond fan, hopefully you'll see an improved Louisville team since the last time they met in April. Obviously, early in the season, they were just trying to find out by themselves that is Louisville. And I think you'll see a better team if you're a Richmond fan from the first game, for sure.
Well, if you're a Richmond fan, you're hoping you don't see another 6-goal performance, as now Louisville City getting things started. Charlie Adams gets that back to Montano. That ball, and there's a whistle, and I believe that'll be a foul against Montano. Is he a little too physical there?
Yeah, his first touch failed him there. Ball got away from him, and he just fouled to slow the play down.
Now Richmond will be looking to get their attack started, as Taylor will be taking his time with this kick here. And Taylor sends this one downfield and finds Connor Shinowski's head, not who he was looking for. And Adams, a nice play there to get that one up to Fondy. But Richmond, nice swarm defense there to get it away.
The question is, how will the referee play the game tonight? Is he going to look at taking control early on to make sure some of this, quote, physical play doesn't get out of hand. So it'll be interesting to see how he calls it early.
Of course, that ball, dangerous ball there, but Montaneau deals with it, and that one goes out of bounds. Will be a throw in to the Kickers.
Just for if you're for Richmond fans, Louisville normally plays a 4-5-1 with Fondy being the one up top. You see their wing backs will get into the play a lot, so they like to release and go up top.
Lee sends this one into the box. Montaneau's there and tries to clear it, and that one ends up getting Rasmussen, who was trying to flick it on up to Fondy. But Richmond will maintain possession, as that's Taylor booting this one downfield again. It's anybody's ball right now. Louisville City looks like they will win it here, as that ball will fall all the way back to Goodwin. And he switches fields with it, and that goes out of bounds, throw into the Kickers. They're still playing on the right side of the field as they look to switch it now to the midfield, all the way across to the left side. As that was Robinson getting pressured by Dakers, and he has to send it back. And the Kickers will reset the attack once again, as Fondy, applying the pressure upfield, wins it for Louisville City, and Quinn gives it right back.
There's an example of Fondy trying to create a mistake, which he did. They couldn't capitalize on it. But again, when he can create pressure with the support behind him, he's usually pretty successful, causing a little bit of chaos.
Richmond now switching fields up to the offensive third, and a shot from distance, but that one goes well over the bar. And Goodwin will get the goal kick here, as I believe that was Jeffrey on the shot there.
It was a great job with Delicott controlling the ball. That's what you want from your forward, is be able to bring it down. He chested it right down to his player.
I don't know, that was an absolute rocket. If he gets over that ball a little bit, that's going to give Goodwin a lot of trouble.
Yeah, give it a chance. I mean, obviously you can't score without shooting. See who's awake, who's sleeping early on.
Now Shinowski working on the right side of the field up to Guzman. Sends that one up to Burke. And all the way back to Shinowski as the Kickers applying decent amount of pressure. And now Morad on the left side of the field. He's got a little bit of space, so he takes it up by himself. Now up to Montaneau. Montaneau tries to find Rasmussen. Rasmussen's got the ball. Now back to Dakers. Dakers loses it, and now the Kickers are getting their counter attack underway.
One of the things last week O'Connor said to try to get them out of the scoring slump was they wanted to get the ball in the box. They wanted to create just any kind of chances. So you saw them early on taking some shots, and I kind of thought Rasmussen might try to pull one right there. Evidently didn't have the angle on that.
So right now the Kickers with the throw in, working on the left side of the field. Now Shinowski gets it over to Guzman, as Louisville City will switch fields now to Montaneau. Montaneau on the far side, near side, excuse me, up to Fondy. And that ball will go out of bounds and will be a throw in to the Kickers. As this Louisville City team really does like to play it up to Fondy and just see what he can do. Now the Kickers trying to get something started themselves, as the Guzman wanted a handball there, but the ref waves it off. As now Adams, a nice little move there as he's racing down the left side of the field, and he'll win a throw in. As that's the one thing watching these games, Charlie Adams is electric with the ball at his feet.
Yeah, he gets in. He's got a first burst of speed that's really good, that helps him separate.
There's Adams there, trying to flick that one up to Rasmussen, but the Kickers' defense holds strong. And now their attack is underway, but disrupted by Aiden Quinn and Juan Guzman. And now Louisville City switching fields. Burke trying to get that one up to Dakers. And this one will go out of bounds, but will stay with Louisville City. It's now all the way back to Shinowski. Over to Murad, and now up to Quinn. Along the left side of the field, and he's got Rasmussen, but that ball just a little bit too far in front of him. Going for a goal kick.
That's a good try, playing it into space. Stretched the defense there, just couldn't connect.
It's now Taylor. He hasn't yet to be challenged. Not really neither keeper challenged so far, as we're in the 8th minute here of action. Little pinball action here as both teams trying to win it. This ball going out of bounds, and we'll go to the kickers. I throw that one in fairly quickly, and they look to switch fields. Nice little move there as Louisville City again applying some pressure upfield. And now here's a dangerous ball along the right side of the field, as that's Lee. A nice move to get by Montaneau. Sends it into the box, but Murad was right there and waiting for it, as the Louisville City defense deals with that play rather nicely.
Last week against Oklahoma City, there's a few times miscommunication from the back, disorganized a couple times, mental lapse or whatnot. So it's important for them to do what they just did there and organize as a unit.
There's been actually a couple games, the last several games for Louisville City, there's been miscommunications that have led to goals on bad passes by player A or player B. So Louisville City obviously will want to limit those if at all possible, particularly if Delicate's in firing distance, as there's a ball into the box, but Goodwin with the sure hands, and he looks to get things started right away. That ball takes a couple deflections, goes out of bounds, but stays with Louisville City. Now Montaneau, he gets that one upfield, was looking for Fondy, but light years in front of him. And now a deep ball downfield by Richmond, looking for Delicate. Delicate was right there. A nice play back. That ball sent into the box. And nobody really there for it, as now Dakers will look to get things started for Louisville City on this counter. He's got his running mate Burke with him. Now Burke trying to get that one back up to Dakers, but the nice defense to slow down the attack, as Louisville City will have to reset things from the backfield.
You can see early on Richmond is trying to get the ball to Delicate up top. He seems obviously big, physical. He can bring the ball down. Obviously not watching tons of Richmond games, so I assume that's who they like to play through, thus all the goals that he has. So it looks like early on they're trying to get him the ball, he control it, and see who he can place it off to.
Well, so right then there, that play just a moment ago, Delicate, I don't know how he kept that one in bounds. That was a tremendous play right there.
Even with a little pull on the arm as well.
There's now Adams working on the midfield, and there's that quick first step. Gets it over to Guzman, and now to Burke on the right side, over to Dakers, trying to get it back to Burke, but Dakers gets it back. He's taken down to the ground. The whistle stays in the pocket, as Louisville City will have to reset once again. It's now Murad. Now Quinn. Back to Murad, as they're looking for an opening here, but Richmond really clogging up the holes, but Charlie Adams does well. And now Montaneau on the left side sends us into the box. A dangerous ball, but nobody is there, as it was just out of reach for Dakers. And that will go against Dakers there, as he was a little too aggressive on that challenge.
Always that dreaded foul. Why do you foul deep in the corner? Keep him locked in, pressure the ball, make sure you can't play out. You don't need a foul there.
Now Taylor will look to get things started for the kickers. And he sends this one upfield. Louisville City looks to win it, though. Well, it goes right back to the kickers.
Once again, trying to feed the ball to Delicate.
It's now switching fields as that ball goes off Montenot, as that Schiffman playing it off of him to win the throw-in. And Louisville City once again, Rasmussen applying a lot of pressure upfield, not making things easy for the Richmond defense. And this ball sent deep, looking for Delicott once again, and a little pinball action there as it goes off of Montenot and Morad's head. And that one goes out of bounds, and I believe will be a corner kick, and that's the first corner of the night.
Again, impressed with Delicott and his ability just to try to win the ball. Louisville's having been to put two guys trying to win the ball. He's been able to disrupt the play, give a second ball chance to his teammates, creating here a corner kick.
And Delicott uses his body well to hold it up, to wait for things as Jeffrey sends this one into the box, but Burke, that's using the noggin, sends that one out of danger. As Louisville City appealing for an offsides, and they will get it.
Very late call, but they'll take it.
As Delicott almost reminds me a little bit of a Didier Drogba, who was very good at holding up and using his body and strength to his advantage.
Yeah, very good. Big, tall, aggressive, winning the ball. That's a very good example.
So now the kickers, once again, looking to get the attack started along the right side of the field. That ball a little too far in front of Jeffrey, as Goodwin will clear it out of there. But the kickers get it right back. In the 15th minute of play, still scoreless here as Louisville City plays host to the kickers. That ball sent into the box. Not sure it was much of a shot as Delicott looked to be running on at the end. It goes right into Goodwin's hands, and he gets it right over to Burke, and now Dakers on the right side of the field, looking to put the magic on, and this ball will go out of bounds. Louisville City will stay with Louisville City for throwing. And now into the invisible side of the field from our vantage point. Burke sends that one over to Shinosky. Shinosky switching fields now to Murad. And all the way back to Quinn. And Murad gets it right back and finds Dakers. But the Richmond defense, well, they'll get their counter started right away.
There's an example. Dakers able to hold the ball. He was not, thus Richmond has a chance to turn the tides.
As again, an opportunity here for Richmond if they play it well. There's a couple players slipping and sliding. This ball sent into the box, but Shinosky clears it with his head. Richmond will hold on to the ball, and they'll switch fields now. Working through Lee, and he'll send that back to Robinson.
Richmond number 4 security seems to be involved in a lot of play right now. Very talented, small in frame.
Now Robinson trying to whip that one into the box. Will go out of bounds for a goal kick, and I completely agree, as he's very quick with the ball at his feet. And I've always noticed that with players that, for lack of a better, the shorter players, they are so good with the ball at their feet and really hard to knock off of it. As now things looking for Louisville City as Burke on the right side has options, sends it in, and that will go in, and that's Matthew Fondy will give Louisville City the lead. 1-0 over the Richmond Kickers as a beautiful cross by Brian Burke. And Matt Fondy picking up where he left off, and that's his 10th goal of the season. Looks like Louisville City's hacked into what they had last week.
Once again, we look at Burke playing out wide, getting involved in the game.
So we'll get another look at that goal here.
Once again, Burke releasing from the back. Look at all that space out wide. All time in the world to see where he wants to play it. Fondy does what he's supposed to do. Get a body part on the ball. That's what goal scorers do. Foot, head, elbow, arm, whatever you need.
And now things looking on for Richmond, an opportunity, but a bobbled play. And Shanoski almost left in a dangerous position.
Going back to the goal, how great is it? Fondy is the one who played it out wide to Burke. Then he releases, sprints into the play, gets the ball back. A beautiful play by Louisville City.
I couldn't agree anymore, and I'm glad to get to see a goal again, as it's been a while for me. A week away, it's just absolute torture. I should not have gone to that wedding. I immediately regret that decision.
Don't tell your friend that.
I will not.
Again, you put the ball on net, or put the ball in the box, things happen, and there was a prime example of that. Ball goes in. Fondy does, again, what he does, just scores goals and puts his body on it. Again, what we said earlier, go out wide, create width, find the space inside. Fondy creates the space himself, starting the run from the midfield all the way through, pretty much unmarked up until the end. And again, great cross and beautiful goal.
And of course, I don't know if you got to see it on the screen, but Richmond had an opportunity as it was close, as Shanoski kind of mistouched it. And it looked like Delicott was right there and almost got onto it, but Goodwin was there first.
And if you're a Louisville fan, the great thing is they're 4-0-3 when they get the first goal. So if you follow those numbers, you're feeling pretty good about now.
So now the kickers, they'll do their best to try and equalize it here, as this ball sent deep into the box, but that one too far in front of Delicott. As Delicott wanting the corner, he will not get it. That'll be a goal kick to Louisville City.
And to go along with those facts again, if they score within the first 30 minutes, they're 4 now. So if you like the stats, you like those two right now.
If you're big into superstition, I think that those are the, I almost think they should write that down as superstition stats.
Yeah.
Because I know so many people that as soon as they see that number, they're like, I think we're good. We're good now.
And the funny thing is the players have no clue about these numbers whatsoever. They just go play.
Exactly. As that almost a chance there, as Fondy was reaching out trying to get possession. Now it looks like he might have caught somebody there, as there's a Richmond kicker player on the ground.
Can't see his number.
But he's quick to get up, as that looks like number 8, Hugh Roberts. And Hugh Roberts has sent a lot of balls deep downfield, as looks like every single attack for Richmond has begun with Roberts or somebody in the backfield sending it upfield looking for Delicott. As again, we get another look at that as Fondy reached a little too far out. But good to see Roberts back up on his feet. As now Richmond trying to play a little pinball here, trying to get something going. And that ball will go out of bounds and will stay with the kickers. Again, they're looking to switch fields here. Goes all the way back to Jalen Robinson. Excuse me, that was Samuel Asante. Again, working along the left side of the field. A nice burst of speed there. The ball not out of play yet. And there is a whistle, as Guzman is now down on the ground. And it looks like Jalen Robinson, or excuse me, no, that was Samuel Asante down on the ground for the kickers.
Couldn't tell if the referee called the penalty on the first and let it play on. Right, I think he let it play on there.
So it looks like that, yeah, that was a foul going against Guzman, as it did look like he was trying to see if Richmond could get something going. But good to see both players up and able. As Jared Jeffrey will look to send this one in. You can see Dakers, the one-man wall. This ball sent into the box, but right into Burke's head as Dakers racing for it against Jeffrey. And Jeffrey gets there first. If Dakers had been able to get there, he would have been on goal by himself. And now Adams looking to get the counter started. And he'll switch fields looking for Dakers, and Dakers has space. He's also got his teammate Burke with him. Burke.
Great switch.
And that ball bouncing around, never went out of bounds, and falls back to Guzman now.
You switch the attack that way, defense has to react. That was a great ball. Unfortunately, couldn't get that second ball from Burke to go anywhere.
Now Guzman with it again. He'll get it over to Shinosky. And Shinosky sends this one in looking for Fondy. Fondy almost got onto it, and that one will go out of bounds, be a goal kick to the Kickers. It was a beautiful ball by Shinosky. Fondy just unable to get onto the end of it.
That was a great ball. Great thought to find Fondy. Just one of those things that Fondy just couldn't corral it.
We'll get another look at that ball as again Shinosky, as Fondy was there, just let it bounce. I think if he takes it off his body and directs it towards goal, he'll have a chance. It might not go in or get saved, but at least an opportunity, as Fondy showing off the footwork there and draws the foul.
Again, holding the ball, creating time. He gets chopped down, creates something.
Is now Shinosky getting that up to Dakers. Dakers finding Burke. Now all the way back to Shinosky. Gets it over to Guzman. And Guzman will switch fields to Montaneau. And now all the way back to Murad. As Shinosky again, he's looking upfield for Fondy. Finds him on the ground, and Fondy tried to leave it off for Rasmussen. But just a bit in front of him is Rasmussen, almost off the deflection, gets it back. Now Fondy again, the extra effort. He's racing on goal, but Taylor will just clear this one, no problems at all there. A couple of tense moments there for the Kickers.
Again, you pressure the ball, you create mistakes by Richmond by pressuring. You'll see Louisville try to do that throughout the night.
As now Burke again along the right field. He's got all kinds of space, almost finds Rasmussen. And then it almost falls back to Dakers, but now the Kickers getting their counterattack underway. But again, the Louisville City attack applying a lot of pressure and preventing the run out. Again, we'll get another look at that one there, as Burke again finding all kinds of space on the right side.
Yeah, he would have loved to have had that touch back. It got away from him, but still was almost able to put the ball right into the 6-8 yard box. Dangerous ball.
And you got to say, what a beautiful defensive play. I'm not sure of the player, but literally doing the splits to get onto that one. And if he hadn't, that falls right to Rasmussen, who probably directs that one on goal.
That's what you're trying to do, put the ball in the box, create something, and that's what Burke tried to do. And yes, a good defensive play by Richmond.
So now the Kickers, as Jeffrey taken down there, a nice tackle by Shinosky. Now working through Lee, and Adams wins it for Louisville City. Is now Montaneau over to Quinn, and he'll get it right back as he sends this one upfield looking for Fondy. Finds Fondy's head, but the Richmond Kickers will win it here. As Taylor sending them one deep downfield and goes all the way to Goodwin. Of course, the flag was up for offside. Now Montaneau back to Murad. Once again, we'll work through Shinosky as Dakers finds a sliver of space, gets it to Burke, and Burke, an excellent job of getting it back to Dakers. Now Dakers having to show his footwork off to win the throw in here.
Again, Burke and Dakers playing well off of each other. Burke releasing up into the play, creating some chances. And again, I think that's what Louisville wants to do. Those two play very well together. And if you see tonight, they like to play both wings pretty well and see what they can do to serve in the middle.
It's now Murad. Over to Shinosky again, working from the right side of the field. that appears to be the favorite side tonight, as Burke and Dakers have found a lot of space. And now Montano looking for Rasmussen or Fondy. But the Kickers' defensive line holds strong, as now Adams wins it back though. He's getting double teamed here, trying to beat his man to the outside as Samuel Asante gives him a little shoulder brush and knocks him off the ball.
That's just an example of a player creating something when he really didn't have anything. 1 versus 2 here. He just creates a foul. There he is, 1 versus 2, trying to create something, and plays the ball in obstruction, and we have a free kick.
And another look at this one. Adams into the box, sends it along the ground, and that ball takes a deflection and is cleared out of bounds. Will be I believe the first corner kick of the night for Louisville City. Adams, the move there. And a nice job.
Again, plays it into the 6-yard box. Something's going to happen. Louisville's got a Corners for Cancer program. And it goes well because that was their 101st corner kick of the season.
As Montano just outside the box gets it in. And Richmond clears it. But Louisville City will maintain possession, and this ball not really doing much for the Louisville City attack there, as we'll fall back to the Kickers. Yeah, it's the great Bob Valvano's charity. Is now Dakers, though. Opportunity brewing here. Takes the shot along the pitch, but a nice save by Taylor. As those are sometimes the harder balls to save, the ones along the ground.
Yeah, you don't know how the grass is. They try to dampen it before the game, and it did look like that took a little skip off the ground. That was a great save by Taylor.
Has some physical play there, and that one will go against Louisville City. We've got a Louisville City player down on the field now. Oh, we'll get another look at that one there. Dakers again as Taylor, the outstretched arm, right place, right time.
From distance, again, you skip it off the ground. You don't know what's going to happen. He took a chance, and again, you hope for a rebound. Louisville wasn't really following up the ball. Obviously, they weren't maybe expecting the shot, but again, you try to do that, create a rebound. Next time he knows he's going to take a shot, somebody's going to foul it up.
As Guzman, that's Juan Guzman of Louisville City, still down on the field.
One of the cases where you get the foul and the elbow in the face at the same time.
Insult to injury.
Yes, it's not good for you.
As Guzman definitely slow to get up here. Looks to be holding a little bit of his back, as he appears to be a little out of it, a little woozy.
Yeah, looking at his neck, a little whiplash maybe.
And it looks like he's might have hurt his shoulder there too, because he kind of looks to be testing that one out. Of course, he'll have to come off for a little bit. So Louisville City will be down a man for at least a minute, as the Kickers will have a free kick here once Guzman leaves the field. And he definitely looks a little out of it right now, as he looks like he took a nasty knock. This ball sent into the box, but Murad clears it. But it's not out of danger yet, as that's Lee on the right side looking to play off Jeffrey. And Richmond will have to reset everything as it goes all the way back to Taylor. This ball again, dangerous, looking for Delicott, but a nice defensive play by Montano, and he's fouled in the process.
Actually, I think the linesman called an offside, I believe. It looked like it.
As Montano took a really nasty fall there, as he kind of got spun around. As another look at that free kick.
Yeah, it's definitely not offside. So yeah, it was definitely a foul. He got him on his feet on the way down.
But Montano's back up on his feet, and Louisville City's back to full strength as Guzman now coming back onto the field. Now Shinoski will look to get things going on the right side.
One of the things you'll see about Louisville, they do keep shape very well. When they like to play out of the back, they keep their shape. They play within themselves and try to work it up again, mostly coming out on the sides.
It's now Montaneau. And that ball having to go all the way back as it got as high as Fondy. It's now Shinoski. Got all kinds of space. And a poor ball there as he was looking for Adams. Will be a throw in here to the kickers.
It almost sounded like the Coopers were yelling Chile in honor of their Copa America win today, but I doubt that's what they're yelling. But I'll take it with an exciting PK result.
Absolutely. And now Rasmussen over to Quinn, and he'll look to switch fields to Burke. Burke having to come back to get it, and now Dakers gets onto the end of this one, but a nice tackle there.
That was a solid tackle.
And the Richmond attack will look to get underway now. Staker's also a little slow to get up, but he's back on his feet and getting back into position.
Yeah, William Yambi at 6'4", big central defender, went in and took out our little 5'9" Dakers.
And even if it is the clean tackles, those still can, it takes a moment to gather yourself. As now a dangerous ball there. Is that ball looking for Schiffman. And now nice play by Sekiwi.
Yeah, again, you see Sekiwi all over the field, getting involved in the play. A lot of the play goes through him.
This ball sent into the box to Delicott. Delicott chested. Will look to hold on to it. Gets that over.
That's a great ball.
To Robinson, who switches fields. But a nice play by Adams. And he looks to get things started right away, looking for Fondy. And Fondy applying a lot of pressure.
Make a mistake. There you go, Fondy.
And he causes the mistake. Gets that over to Quinn now as they
Burke
switch
goes out
fields.
wide.
Again looking for Burke on the right side, and he's got the space, sends it into the box. But a poor cross there is not able to find anybody there.
Frustrating if you Louisville. Great pressure by Fondy up top, switches the ball across the field, creating width, and just unfortunately last pass, not so great.
And in the 36th minute here of action, Louisville City still up 1-0 over the Richmond Kickers off of that beautiful cross by Brian Burke to find Matt Fondy on a diving header. And now the Kickers, again looking to get things started, is Robinson.
He was a little bit frustrated. Nobody was showing her the ball for Robinson.
We'll have to switch fields here, and Montaneau trying to keep up with it as he caused a turnover briefly. And a ball will go out of bounds and will stay with Louisville City. So now the Louisville City attack working through Burke. He's got Dakers with him and gets to Guzman, who gets it, finds Dakers. And he'll look to send this one back as he didn't have much going for him there. It's now Montaneau as they'll look to attack down the left side. And now Murad finds Guzman. And again, they'll work through Shinoski. He plays almost like a quarterback from the backfield as Fondy, a nice dummy there to Rasmussen, gets it back. Fondy will take the shot, a one-hopper right into Taylor's hands. But again, you like the attempt there, the nice effort. You got to keep the goalie on his toes, as Goodwin right now has not seen a whole lot of action on this end, as the Louisville City defense has done an excellent job of not really letting too many shots off.
Yeah, again, throughout training, Fondy said this week that they were working on defensively strengthening themselves, and you can kind of see it so far in the first half. They've looked very solid, organized, communicating well, being spatially aware of what's going on, and doing a great job.
There's Robinson on the throw-in. Was looking for Jeffries, and this ball coming all the way back. Takes a deflection off Quinn, and they'll have to reset from the midfield. So now Lee on the right side, and that ball goes out of bounds. As Louisville City pressure causing the Richmond to make some mistakes.
Again, going back to the important game that this is, Richmond hasn't lost since May 23rd when they were at Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Again, 4 draws in a row. 2 of them shortened games due to the weather, so unfortunately that doesn't help them.
And I believe the most recent game was only a half of soccer, 45 minutes. So again, you kind of got to read between the lines there, as you're not sure what the weather was really like. It obviously must have been a torrential downpour.
Yeah, Richmond's head coach said, nobody needed to be out there. It was the right call to stop the game.
As now Shinosky gets that up to Dakers. And they'll get it right back as Dakers was running on. Had some space, and now Rasmussen. He'll switch fields looking for Charlie Adams. Adams, if he can hold on to this one. And he does, sort of loses it. And now applying pressure, and will go off Adams. Be a throw in here to the kickers deep in their own side of the field. And that causes a turnover, as now Louisville City will look to get things underway. As Shinosky again, he's got space. He'll take it himself part of the way and leaves it off for Burke. And again, Louisville City will reset here. There's now Quinn, some room and time in the midfield. Gets it over to Burke on the right side. And he had Dakers there, but elects to reset, looking for a better chance.
Again, control the ball, try to create some options, move the ball like they are, use the space, see if they can find that one open spot to expose.
Now Shinosky gets it over to Guzman, who switches fields to Montaneau, and he'll boot it upfield, and looking for Rasmussen, finds him, and the shot, but what a save by Taylor! As an incredible reflexes there to hit that off the bar, and will go out of bounds for a corner kick. But what an absolute firecracker from Rasmussen.
That was almost unexpected.
I was expecting more, but typical kind of cross into the box, but Rasmussen's, nuh-uh, I'm going to take it myself.
I couldn't tell if he took a peek and see if the keeper was kind of coming off the line. I think he did. Saw the space as the keeper came off the line a couple yards and tried to near post it. Yeah, definitely looked like he tried to inside or outside the foot bender to near post.
And that was definitely curling into the net if Taylor doesn't flick that one up. And now the corner into the box, but right into Taylor's hands. But again, an incredible shot and an even better save by Taylor, as he did not have a lot of time to react to that one.
No, he didn't. That was one of the better saves you're going to see this year, most likely. It was quick, well played by Taylor.
And Burke there pouncing on the opportunity to win it back for Louisville City and get the counter going.
But again, that was an example of Louisville building up the play, keeping possession, moving the ball back and forth, trying to find that space that was created, and they did, and they almost took advantage of it.
And that was a long possession for Louisville City right there. It seemed to be over a matter of minutes.
Yeah, it's one of those things, the old age in soccer, you can't score if you don't have the ball.
Now Montaneau finds Dakers. Now Dakers playing on the left side of the field. Dakers crosses it in, tries to find Fondy. And that ball will go out of bounds, and looks like that'll be a goal kick to the kickers, as Fondy almost getting onto the end of that one.
Again, Louisville's going to play it wide, finds a tough ball. 6-8 yard line or yard box is where you want to play that ball for somebody coming in. played very well, just couldn't get on the other end of it, Fondy.
This ball sent deep downfield as Shinoski wins it, but he also commits the foul. And now Richmond will have a free kick from near the second base, as this typically a baseball field. And credit to the grounds crew. Quick shout out, I can't believe I haven't mentioned this yet. It takes them 12 hours to transition from baseball to soccer. And there was a baseball game last night, and a dangerous ball there. A good one is there to deflect it out of bounds. There's a nice reflex save there.
All for naught. It was an offsides. Great reflex save nonetheless, but it would have been called back because it was offsides. And yeah, if you are Richmond watching for the first time, this is obviously a baseball field. You see the lighter green area here is obviously the infield. They put an AstroTurf substance over top of that. That's why you see some of the players kind of slipping a little bit more than normal. But like you just said, the grounds crew, tremendous. Both the Louisville Bats baseball team and Louisville City have kudos for the grounds crew, because whatever sport you're playing, the field is immaculate for the players.
Oh, absolutely. And again, the Bats having the game last night, again, had to work through the night to get this one ready. So again, I cannot say enough nice words about them and the grounds crew and the hard work that they do, because I have to believe that is not an easy task at all.
No, especially when you have high maintenance baseball players when they're in the outfield and they don't need divots or things when the ball's coming out to them. Or obviously in the infield too. The infielders want to have a nice smooth kick off the grass.
Absolutely.
And the interesting thing too is that the mound is on a hydraulic system, so the mound goes up and down. So for the first year for Louisville City, it's an incredible atmosphere. You can see great crowd tonight. It's a great ballpark, one of the best minor league ballparks there is in the country, and that play soccer on it. And for the grounds crew to do such a great job preparing and getting this ready is such a testament to the commitment that the ownership and the city of Louisville has to soccer. And that goes with the ownership of the Louisville Slugger, in a sense, agreeing to allow them to play here.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, we're in the final minute of regulation. It looks like we'll only have 1 minute of additional time here, as Louisville City looking to get things going, as the kickers had a couple of chances there just a moment ago. But now Burke along the right side of the field sends it in, as Rasmussen's there, almost wins it. And now the kickers will try and get things started, but turn it over. So now Adams has joined Burke along the right side, as Dakers and Adams have switched sides. Now Shinoski. This time again being kept on the field. As a player went down there, and you could see Taylor's hands kind of go up saying, oh, what gives? So now Shinoski. Again, along this right side, is 90% of the attacks for Louisville City have started on this right side, it appears. Maybe even a larger percentage of that, at least with the combination of Burke and Dakers.
Yeah, I think for the second game in a row, those two are the strong point on the attack coming out wide, like you said.
So now Montanel curls this one into the box. Was trying to find Adams, who was running onto it on the far post. And that will do it for the first half of action tonight, as both teams with a couple chances. Louisville City the better side for most of that first half. But give Delicott credit, as he was doing everything he could to give Richmond kickers an opportunity. But again, Louisville City heading into the locker room with that 1-0 lead. We'll be right back with more from Slugger Field in Louisville, Kentucky. You've been watching live action of USL Soccer exclusively on the Louisville City FC YouTube channel, produced by Tour Boost Sports Group. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back into Louisville Slugger Field on America's birthday, this 4th of July, as Louisville City is playing host to the Richmond Kickers and are up 1-0 after the half. My name is Jim Womble, and I'm joined by Dan Kessler. Dan, a pretty good first half of action. For those of you not comparing it to last week's game, which was kind of an electric first half, if you will. But overall, if you quick look at the stats here, as we were talking about this just a moment ago during that break, as Louisville City with 4 shots on goal. Obviously, that one goal coming from Matt Fondy and a beautiful couple saves by Taylor. Whereas Scott Goodwin not getting pressure at all, really, as he's only got that one save on the night.
Yeah, Louisville putting the pressure on Taylor. Taylor, again, keeping them in the game. It could easily be at least 2, if not 3-0. Louisville, once again, working on the defensive side of the ball throughout the week in practice, keeping a clean sheet in the first half, and that's obviously what they're wanting to do in the second half. And what you'll try to see most likely, we'll have to see if there's any substitutions beginning the second half. But I think what you'll see is Orlando, again, trying to go up top to the goal scorer, Delcott, to see if he can get a goal and put pressure on the defense of Louisville.
As again, this second half underway, and Louisville City in the home purple, going from left to right, and Richmond Kickers in the away red with a near chance there.
Pretty much right what I was just talking about.
Exactly, going from right to left, looking for Delcott, is, again, he uses his body so well. If he just has an inch of space, you're not getting that ball away from him.
No, and one of the interesting things, you know, Richmond coming off of kind of a dry spell of wins, coming off 4 draws, so they're still getting points, still keeping 3rd place over Louisville, but they've had injuries. One of their top players, Brian Omby, was out about 3 weeks ago, and so the coach was kind of saying, oh, that's kind of disrupted, their injuries have kind of disrupted their flow, and we'll see if the second half they can get a better result, obviously, than what they want in the first half.
As Schiffman there switching fields, and he finds a substitute, Sasha Gores. And Louisville City will deal with it here, as Louisville City a moment ago just again going on the right side of the field with Burke with a nice cross into the box, and now Fondy all by himself, only one man to beat. Now he's getting pressured, finds Dakers. Dakers with the shot, didn't quite get enough on it, and an easy save for Taylor there.
A great play by Fondy, slowing down, letting the players come up to him, having the time to do that as well from the Richmond defender, not pressuring him well. And it's almost like, once again, on the fake AstroTurf, it kind of slipped for Dakers. If you see here, nice ball back to Dakers, and it's kind of almost like his footing got lost there for a second.
And again, we were just told in the, during halftime, and can't believe I haven't mentioned this yet, but Matt Fondy, this 10th goal of the season, puts him tied atop the league for individual stat there as goals on the season, as he's had a tremendous season. Of course, that hat trick helping last week with 3 goals.
Yeah, obviously Fondy being the goal scorer and the best player on Louisville, played 8 games last year with the Chicago Fire. Obviously very capable player. You know, you have him up top to score goals, and he's producing 3 of them last week. But again, 10 overall shows his skill. 10
through 14 games. That's a pretty impressive scoring clip, if I don't say so myself. As now Dakers on the right side, he'll chip that one into the box, as the Richmond Kickers will clear it here, as Quinn almost won it back for Louisville City. But now the counter's on for the Kickers. They're coming down this left side of the field. That's Delcott. And he'll leave it back. And a turnover there is now Rasmussen looking to get things going for Louisville City. And again, finds Burke on the right side here.
What I like about Louisville, if they don't see it forward, they'll pull it back, collect themselves, move the ball, keep possession, and again, try to find the space as they're doing right now.
As now Adams finds some space, gets it over to Rasmussen, who got that one up to Fondy, but a poor touch there. And now things are looking good for the Kickers, but Burke coming over to win that one back, and looks to get the counter going for Louisville City. Is now Rasmussen on the ball, and he'll switch fields to Montaneau. And again, going back, as you notice, Louisville City a lot of times passes it back into the backfield. They're not afraid to play it slow, kind of lull the defense to sleep. And then next thing you know, a couple quick strike, a nice run by Dakers or Burke. And they're on the other side of the field looking on goal.
It does look like Richmond made a change up top. It looks like number 17 came into the game, Jason Yeasley, playing next to Delcott.
As Burke crosses that one in, Dakers in the right place, almost gets a shot on goal, and he's knocked over, and you can hear the Coopers not happy with that call there, or no call there, if you will. As an interesting little play there, and we'll get another look at it.
Once again, playing in that 6 to 8 yard box. If it would have been a penalty, it would have been a tough penalty. You'd probably be good with a no call right there.
There was some contact, and if it outside of the box, it's probably a foul, but it's really hard to justify that as a penalty. It's a shot
Great
there, and a
ball.
goal by Tariq Morad off the corner kick. What a beautiful header that was as he runs in the near side of the post, and that gives Louisville City the 2-0 lead. And oh my goodness, the smoke is out tonight, and it's not just purple, we got some yellow too. As the Coopers very happy to see that one, as that's Morad doing some work on that corner. He came all over the place for that one.
A winding run starting up at the top of the box. We'll see if we can see it here. He starts up at top of the box, creates space with his man, beats the guy coming off the post, heads it near post.
I think my favorite thing of that is if you saw on the replay, I believe that was Daniel Bird jumping out of his seat. He absolutely loved that one there. He got some nice hang time there.
That was almost like a training play right there. Loops around, plays to the near post, because obviously that's right where he wanted to put the ball. Great play, putting it near post.
As now Richmond down 2 will look to get things started, see if they can get some attempts on goal and start to challenge Goodwin. As so far tonight, not a lot going on there. That cross sent into the box, but Goodwin comes off his line and pecks it out of the air.
Once again, if you're a Louisville fan, you enjoy scoring in the second half, because Louisville hasn't lost a game when they scored in the second half.
And there's that fun superstitious stat of the night. As now Louisville City, kickers had it there briefly. We'll work on the left side through Montaneau, and he'll leave it off for Quinn. And Quinn will switch fields as Burke has a lot of space. He's got Dakers there with him. He uses them, not give and go. Back to Dakers. Dakers, a nice touch to Rasmussen. Dakers gets it back, but an even better defensive play there.
Great play, tight spaces, working the ball quick. Again, those two very successful, again, for a second weekend in a row.
And now the kickers with an opportunity, but a nice play by, I believe that's Tariq Morad, the goal scorer, stepping in to prevent that one, as Richmond looked like they had something going right there. They were in a very dangerous position.
No, great defensive play, read the pass, stepped in the lane, won the ball back.
It's now Rasmussen.
Again, Louisville controlling the ball, keeping possession, trying to find the space, create the lanes that they want.
As that ball looking for Fondy, won't find him, and nice defensive stance there. Goes all the way back to Taylor. As had that defender not been there, Fondy's in on goal. I believe Jalen Robinson now looking to get things started along this right side of the field. Now up to Jeffrey, and he'll switch fields all the way to the left side. That's to Gorez. And there's a Richmond player down on the field now, and there's a whistle as well. That going against Louisville City, didn't quite see what happened there. As that's George Davis IV, a little slow to get up. And the kickers will have a free kick here. And I should mention here that Sasha Gores is also one of the coaches for the Richmond Kickers. And again, if you look at we'll get this free kick underway. A nice chance there as we'll get a
Offsides.
We'll get a look.
Yeah, he was offsides. So off or not.
It's now Louisville City. Again, we'll start things, starting on the left side this time. Now over to Shinoski. Shinoski gets it back. Some pressure there as Burke has to run back to prevent it from going out of bounds. And now the kickers are swarming as Shinoski getting all kinds of pressure, having to go way back. And Burke clears it, and that goes off of a Richmond kicker. Plus that goes off Jeffrey. And now off the throw, and Dakers gets it. And now Louisville City has some space and room to operate. As Montano now coming down this left side. Has Adams. Adams, a nice burst of speed there. Gets it over to Fondy. And an even better defensive play there by Jeffrey to get it away from Fondy, as Fondy had some options there. All the way back to Goodwin.
Even though you see Louisville play a 4-5-1, you see Rasmussen, Burke, Dakers play up top. Adams comes up top to play off of Fondy. So one of the things that Louisville does very successful, they interchange their positions. As you said earlier, Adams will switch sides with Dakers, continuing to do that to create space, find the weak point of Richmond.
Is now Rasmussen over to Montano on the left side of the field. Now over to Adams. Back to Montano, and now to Rasmussen. He's got a little bit of space as Richmond player closing as he tried to find Fondy, and he almost somehow got that one along a rope to Fondy. But fortunately for the kickers, the defensive line stood strong and was able to get a foot on that to prevent that one from finding Fondy, and Taylor clears it.
Richmond's looking for their first goal since June 10th. Now remember, some of those games were shortened.
Right.
But
so
really,
take it with a grain of salt.
Sure. But it sounds good when you can say, it doesn't sound good. They haven't, not since 2005 has this team been shut out 3 games in a row. So they're looking to obviously get a goal, at least to get back into the game on this one.
It's now Gores, and Goodwin having to come off his line. He's still on the field. The ball not out of danger yet, but the Louisville City defense, a nice job there, not allowing a second shot, as that surely would have found the back of the net. As now the diving header, but that one goes over the post, and the flag is up as well. So it would have been offside. But again, a nice flurry by Richmond, and that's the best series of attacks they've had all night.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the pressure with the substitute coming in, number 17, easily putting a little bit more pressure with the cut up front, but you can tell that they are putting pressure on the backs, making a little bit of mistakes here on the Louisville side of things, trying to create that goal, or a goal.
So now Goodwin sends that one up, was looking for Dakers. Dakers will settle it. Can't quite control it as he was swarmed there. And now a costly turnover to Rasmussen. Now over to Adams. Adams putting the moves on, but loses it. And Richmond may have just escaped, as Adams and Fondy and Rasmussen were all there in dangerous positions.
Great switch of the field by Richmond right there.
Now
creating that space to play into.
Now Richmond will play along the right side, and they'll switch it over the middle now. So now Gores, one of the assistant coaches, onto the field, and he sends this one into the box. That ball headed up in the air, looking for Delcott. Not out of danger yet. The shot, but he can't quite get anything on it. Still in the box. A pass back to Goodwin, and now it is finally cleared. As a very bizarre sequence of plays there, as I believe that was Davis there, was by himself, but couldn't get anything on that shot. It looks like he slipped a little bit, and really unfortunate there.
even at that point, Louisville keeping their composure, not panicking, and plays a back pass to get out of trouble.
And I have not seen that many back passes with that much traffic in the box. That was an extremely risky play right there.
Confidently crazy of a pass, I would say.
As Goodwin has been known, that particularly on the left foot, not quite getting everything on with his left foot, as he's much better with his right foot, but able to deal with that one. And the kickers have to be kicking themselves right there. Now that's a couple opportunities where the Louisville City defense has really held strong and prevented really much opportunities. It's now Taylor. He'll look to clear this one, sends it up to Robinson, and Robinson will turn it over as now Guzman in the middle of the field gets it up to Rasmussen, now to Adams. Adams finds Fondy, nice give and go. Rasmussen will take the shot and he sends it in the back of the net as Taylor couldn't do anything with that one. And Magnus Rasmussen gives Louisville City the 3-0 lead here in the 59th minute of action. And oh my goodness, this Louisville City offense, they can't be stopped right now, as this is nine goals in 2 games. That's incredible.
What a play. A lot of space, a lot of time. Nobody coming down to close him down. Wide open, buries it. Yambi has to come out, number 2 right here. Watch him stand there. Look at all that space. He's going backwards, creating the opportunity for Rasmussen to score. He's going backwards where he should come out and slow the ball down.
And you can see Taylor was kind of holding his hands up. What are you doing? You can't let a guy like that get the shot off.
That defensive lapse right there, even before that, to play out wide, they had a lot of time and space to play the ball around. Definitely a defensive lap, especially on Yambi, letting Rasmussen take that shot from whatever 20, 22 yards out and burying it.
It's now Louisville City attack once again, and now Burke turns it over as Rasmussen drew a foul there just a moment ago. That's what the whistle there was for. And this ball deep into the box. Delcott gets a head on it, but Goodwin right there, and not really giving him much trouble at all.
One of the things James O'Connor was saying between the New York game and last week's Oklahoma City game was the time of repair. As we talked about, 4 games, lots of travel up north, flying into Montreal, driving to Rochester, driving to Chicago, coming home. Players were tired, sleeping on buses, legs not underneath them. The team feels confident once we get back to the schedule that they're on, these days off in between games, Saturday to Saturday, they feel like that's going to do nothing but benefit them. And 2 games in a row right now, you see the benefit of that.
Absolutely, as the kickers had a brief moment of opportunity there, but the Louisville City defense, again, this looks like the best defensive performance they've had all season. From all the games I've seen, they haven't had those 1 or 2 mistakes that have given the kickers an opportunity, which the last couple of games we've seen that.
Yeah, they're communicating very well. They're very organized in the back. Again, we just saw a couple shaky moments. But Fondy, center forward, talking about what they did this week defensively, going back to working on that to try to get a clean sheet, to get stronger. So you can see some of their practice coming out here and working. So again, going back to that, having the training time, having fresh legs, you can get some things done. And you see it defensively, they're talking very well and being organized.
As Burke now along the right side chips that one up into the box, but that goes out of bounds for a goal kick. As again, the right side of the field, with exception to that last goal by Rasmussen, has all come on the right side.
Yeah, those 2, again, Burke playing outside back, releases into the play almost all the time, as you can see. Creates pressure on the wing back here for Richmond. They're playing 3-5-2, so they're breaking down some of the communication on who's having what, and they're being successful down that side.
As we've got a substitution here for Louisville City, as that looks like Charlie Adams' night is done. And try and see who that is here in just a moment. I believe that might be Nate Pollock coming on for his first moments. And yes, that is number 16, Nate Pollock. My eyes didn't deceive me.
we are right behind home base if you're watching at home, so some of our vantage point isn't great to see the players.
We're a little far away, particularly when it's happening on the other side right now, the goal that Richmond's attacking on.
Yes.
As now, Taylor was trying to get things started for Richmond, and now Burke trying to find Dakers. Dakers putting the wheels on, crosses it in. And fortunately, Taylor was right there, but Matt Fondy and Nate Pollock were both closing. If Taylor doesn't do as well as he does there, that's probably a goal.
Yeah, it's kind of all he had to do was take one first-time ball across. Obviously, he wanted to be a little bit further out from Taylor. That was a good idea. Again, going out wide, creating that space. The guys were making a run into that 6 to 8 yard box. Try to make it work.
Now this ball going out of bounds, and Louisville City will get the throw in here as Burke finds Dakers along the right side, and Dakers playing with it in the air, juggling it to himself, and now Guzman to Montano with all kinds of space on the left side, and he'll get it back. And it looks like they'll reset once again as Louisville City, as you mentioned earlier, not afraid to reset the attack from the backfield, as Shinoski a lot of times kind of the genesis of the attack.
Yeah, he likes in the back, they like to play through him. He likes to look up front, see what's there. If nothing's there, he'll go back out wide, play it around. The possession, again, is important, especially with Fondy up front. He likes to find the lanes, likes to find that open spot to play to, along with Rasmussen going on the inside. Again, almost to go inside, to go back outside to Dakers or Adams on the wing.
Is there a miscommunication there between a couple of Richmond players on that throw-in? As one of them wanted that give and go, but the other guy didn't quite get that memo, and that will go out of bounds to the Louisville City throw-in here. It's now deep in their own corner, and Montano will just send this one up in the air and almost found Fondy, and will go out of bounds, be a throw into the kickers. Now Pollock here on the throw-in. Over to Quinn, now to Guzman, and he'll switch fields to Burke, and Burke, once again, all kinds of space on the right side. If he can keep it in, he does. A nice burst of speed. He's racing into the box. Sends the cross in, but a nice deflection there. And now to Fondy on this left side, just outside of the box. Now onto the pitcher's mound. Fondy, a nice pass to Rasmussen. Rasmussen able to hold on to it somehow. And now over to Montano. Montano will send the cross in, looking for Fondy's head, finds it, but that one goes over the post as Fondy is hungry for more.
Again, the skill to control the ball, keep possession, wait. The Montano comes down, supports, able to get the ball back, swings it in. Good effort by Fondy.
And again, the Coopers getting loud right now as they're loving what they're seeing from Louisville City tonight on this 4th of July. They're just joining us now in the 68th minute of play, and Louisville City up 3-0 over the Richmond Kickers as they look to move into a tie in 3rd place in the Eastern Conference standings alongside the Richmond Kickers. There's a foul there, I believe, going against Richmond. Now Quinn will look to take this one. And he changes his mind, we'll leave it to Goodwin here. As Goodwin waiting to take this one. And he boots a kind of line drive looking for Dakers. Can Dakers get there? He can't quite get there and goes out of bounds. Throw into Richmond, as that was the right idea by Goodwin, as he knows Dakers certainly has some wheels.
Yeah, give him some space out there, see what he can do.
And now Richmond switching fields, playing on the right side of the field. Moving on up to the midfield. Now along this left side to Gorez. A nice burst of speed by Davis, the 4th there. Almost loses it as Richmond will have to reset. Playing through Robinson, he sends that one upfield, a shot, and just wide of the net. As Goodwin was there, but I'm not sure he would have gotten onto it. As the first real opportunity.
Good possession of the ball, move it from side to side, wait to create the space. You'll see he plays a good ball in. It looks like it's flicked on through, over top. He does a good job to bring it down.
And now a chance, happening now, the shot, and what a great save by Goodwin, a reflex save, as I believe during that replay, that was Davis the fourth racing into the box. Or excuse me, that might have been Jason Yesley, excuse me. And almost got past Goodwin, but again, during that replay, was a great attempt by Richmond, and it looks like they're maybe finally get things underway, as they definitely want to go, and that cross not out of danger yet, still in the box. Kicker's trying to do something with it, but Louisville City clears it, and Richmond will be forced to restart. What a sequence of events there.
Yeah, sometimes at the end you clear it, gather yourself. Again on the replay, great control right there, puts it onto his left foot.
Oh my goodness, what a save.
Goodwin comes out to close the angle down, so great job on him to do that, and a great move, put it on his left foot, but Goodwin there to make a great save. Oh, mistake.
Oh, costly turnover there. Now the shot takes a deflection off Murad.
Once again, going back to what we were talking about, mental mistakes a little bit last week in the Oklahoma City game. These guys just make a little bit of a mental mistake just right there. Good teams need to capitalize on those mistakes.
Oh yeah, if you're Richmond, you definitely need to capitalize, as even if they aren't able to get a result out of this one, if you're Richmond, you definitely want to get at least a goal to get some of that confidence back, as that cross sent into the box off the corner. And Richmond will have to reset. But again, from a confidence standpoint, you have to find the back of the net.
Yeah, you sit there and go, you know, you've got to score one to get to two and then to three. And at some point, if you get to one, change the momentum, you're 2 goals down, and then anything can happen. So what you're trying to do, not only these guys, they won't quit. Richmond is not where they are on the table by laying down. They play hard. They work. Rate is very good.
And we've got a substitution here for Richmond, as that's number 7, Matt Delicott. His night is done. And he's being replaced by, waiting to get a look at that number. Well, I'll have that for you in a moment when I get a chance, as we got a foul there, and a Richmond player's down on the ground, and there's the first booking of the night, as Dakers has earned himself a yellow card. But interesting to see Matt Delicott, his night is finished, as he was doing such a great job of not even being the central attacking option tonight. He's been more of a facilitator, because he's had a nice couple deflections, headed it, chested it to somebody else.
Yeah, he's obviously their leading scorer, so you're taking him off the field, but you've got to look at something, you know, in terms of his legs.
Well, there's a look at that, as Daker's definitely late there, and Lee is slow to get up for Richmond, and understandably so.
Yeah, that's definitely a late tackle, justified yellow card. But going back up top, you got to get fresh legs. You got to get a goal. Delicott probably, obviously, not watching him every game, laboring a little bit. It is a little bit warm and muggy here tonight. And you've got to put fresh legs up, put more pressure again on the Louisville back, and see what can happen.
As Lee is obviously not on the field right now, as Richmond's for at least a moment down to 10, and now they're back to full strength as Lee's allowed back onto the field. As Robinson, he'll send this one deep downfield. Nobody really there, but a nice extra effort. And a nice move there, but Morad not fooled by it, and that one sends out of bounds.
That's the sub, number 15, Eli Garner, coming in, kind of getting hit in the midsection.
You can kind of tell by the stretch. It's like the international symbol of, I need a moment, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Maybe a bag of crushed ice will do some wonders there. As you can see him holding his hand up. No, I don't need attention. Just
give me a minute.
Just let me be.
Yep.
And now this ball sent into the box. Couldn't quite find anybody there. Not out of danger yet for Louisville City, though. As this ball sent into the box, and the flag is up as a nice offside trap there by Louisville City, as they did well to come off the line, as it looked like every single Richmond player was offsides there.
Yeah, at this point, if you're Richmond being down 3-0, you just got to go. Throw players forward, try to create mistakes, see what you can do, put the ball in the box, on goal. Again, like you said, get a goal. It has to start with there. So if they're them right now, that's what they're focusing on. Turn around, just go forward. At this point, 3-0 is no different than 4 or 5-0, so you got to try to get back.
As the 75th minute, we're about to enter the 76th minute here. Again, Louisville City still up 3-0 off of some pretty spectacular goals. And now Fondy, but the flag is up. But you like to see that from Matt Fondy, still hungry for goals.
Yeah, you got to stretch them right there. That's what he's trying to do, is create that space, stretch the defense out. Really what you want to see from Louisville now with 15 minutes left in the game is, can they manage the game? Again, they won a clean sheet. That was obviously a goal any game, but again, and they're talking to the players this week, that's what they want. So how do they manage the last 15 minutes, keep possession of the ball, keep them off the ball, be smart?
There's now a semi-chance there for Richmond, but again, Louisville City defense not really making any mistakes so far tonight, as they've been pretty confident on the ball and have been in the right place at the right time. As I guess that extra practice this week, focusing on the defense, as you've said a couple times, has really paid off. And
there's the example, reading the play, stepping up, creating the turnover.
And now Pollock, all kinds of space along the left side of the field. And now he's finally getting pressured, and he'll send this one back to Quinn. Quinn has a lot of options, finds Guzman with the player closing on him. And now finds Burke on the right side, and again,
there's an example. Keep possession of the ball. If you don't see anything as you're up 3-0, you have the ball, they can't score.
There's a nice give and go there between Burke and Dakers, and a nice move by Burke. Somehow holds on to the ball. Now to Dakers. Dakers holding on to the ball here. He'll send this ball in. And not his best cross there, as that one not near anybody and goes out of bounds for a goal kick.
Ill-advised, of course, but again, you can't fault the effort.
You know, if you're Dakers, you almost think with his speed and ability on the ball, you almost want to see if he can just take his man, as he only had one person around him. I would have liked to see him maybe try and get to the touch line.
It was one of those bailouts almost. They possessed the ball, was kind of going with that momentum. You thought he was going to do the same thing, keep the ball, and maybe he saw something we didn't.
That might be why he's down there and I'm up here.
Exactly.
And now opportunity for Richmond, but again, Louisville City defense is not yielding an inch. As Goodwin has only been challenged a couple times. He's only got 2 saves on the night. And now Dakers coming along the left side, and he's taken down there, but no call there from the official. The crowd not happy with that one.
I was going to say, Dakers came back. Obviously, he was a little bit upset, but he wanted to come back and win the ball. That was the referee kind of saying, hey, don't do that to me. I'm going to call you back.
Of course, Dakers playing with a yellow card right now. He wants to be a little careful, as you really don't want to. They wouldn't be the end of the world for tonight's game, as it would take a pretty incredible performance by the kickers, to come back in this one, even if Louisville City was down a man. And an interesting sequence of events there in the box. This keeps a couple deflections.
That's a good point in terms of, I'm O'Connor, I'm looking at taking Dakers off with the yellow. No reason to get a second yellow and be out for the next game next weekend.
It's now Pollock. And along the left side, gets to Montano. It's
almost a hospital ball right there.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. And now Pollock Gets it over to Rasmussen. Now back to Quinn, over to Guzman, as Louisville City will switch fields to Burke. And just outside the reach of Burke.
Right idea, wrong execution.
As Richmond playing with the throw in now.
That's a great win in the air.
And
Yeah,
ouch, there's the yellow card there going against the Kickers, as that's Rasmussen going down to the field right away. And you can see holding the back of his head is, I've had that happen before, and trust me, it does not feel good. And you just got to feel for a guy like that. Anytime you see heads bump into each other, particularly if it's the forehead of one person and the back of the head of somebody else. As again on the replay, pay attention to the right side of the screen. You'll see a glimpse of it as there's Rasmussen going in the air.
Yeah, the referee must have saw his left elbow come up, and being a little bit of a smaller guy, he's got to use something to get leverage, and obviously he took his arm out and used an elbow, because the referee called it right away without any doubt.
As that yellow card going against Sakiri, his first of the night and second booking of the match, as Daker's getting that one just a moment ago. And looks like we'll have a substitution here for Louisville City, and it looks like they're taking Dakers out. And
yeah,
we just talked about that a moment ago. Probably the smart play there. It looked like he was starting to get a little frustrated.
Yes, when he was going back after he didn't get the call, I was like, don't do anything, and I didn't think he did, but he got the call.
Yeah.
And that probably prompted O'Connor to go, wait, well, I need to take him off.
As I believe that's number 11, Niall McCabe, coming on.
You're hoping O'Connor's assistant, Bird, came up and said, hey, he's got to yell, let's get him out.
Absolutely. This ball sent into the box, finds Pollock. Can't quite get anything done with it, though, as that ball pops up to Taylor. So now the Kickers, as we're in the 82nd minute here. Louisville City again up 3-0 over the Richmond Kickers. I know you had the stat earlier that's right, 3 straight games for Richmond without a goal, and they don't want to make this 4 straight, as that would be the longest time, now correct me if I'm wrong, since 2005?
Yep, 2005. It's not since 2005 they had 3 in a row. You got to remember, Louisville's in, 8, 9, 10 months in existence, and Richmond has been around since '93.
And almost a chance there, but a beautiful save by Goodwin, as he was in the right place at the right time off of a soft header there. But again, Richmond, they have to score here just for the sake of going into the next game knowing that they can do it.
Yeah, a win today puts pressure, 3rd place, and a tie in 3rd place. Obviously, you want to finish in the, I believe it's top 6 to get into the playoffs. So
yeah, top 6.
Louisville will feel good.
And now a chance here is McCabe. Tried to find Pollock there. Unable to, if I'm McCabe there, I might just take the shot.
Yeah, I think he kept on looking, not for the shot, but looking for the pass.
And sometimes I think some players can be a little too unselfish, as I think he missed an opportunity there to at least cause some havoc and making Taylor to work. As another whistle here and another foul.
It's just a foul you don't need to give away right there.
As that's George Davis the 4th. A little slow to get up, and he looks like he was holding his leg, and now he's covering his face right now. We'll see if he needs some kind of attention or if he's just cramping.
Was he the one that got fouled? Because it seems like he's really far off the ball. Yeah, it looks like a cramp.
And again, on the left side of the screen,
yeah, so the foul there, he got knocked on his foot after the play.
Looked like he may have got studded there, right there. As you can see, Gora is actually one of the coaches, a player coach, and he's telling the bench that he thinks his night might be done, asking for the substitution. There you saw the hand signal. As we'll probably have a pretty good amount of stoppage time here. As again, George Davis very slow to get off the field, and he's still walking over, and it looks like his night will be done.
We have a substitution entering the match for Richmond. Number 5, Michael Callahan.
As number 5, Mike Callahan, and that was the player I mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast.
You can hear it.
They're letting him have it. That was the player that was involved with Guy Abend, and Guy Abend has been out ever since that game. And a lot of people, a lot of opinions going a lot of ways out of some really dirty tackle. And the Cooper's letting him hear it. And again, the attendance after, which I'll tell you, just after this free kick here. That ball takes a couple deflections in the box, and a nice move there along the near side of the post, and that one going out of bounds. As tonight's game is the 5th record crowd, and wait for this one here, 8,254 here in attendance on this 4th of July night. And that, again, Louisville City's attendance here this year has been absolutely phenomenal, and the fans' last 2 games have surely been treated to great performances.
Good call. I thought he might call straight to the spot. 2 players were going after the ball at the same time. No, it is a testament to the city, the club, the organization, the ownership, the management, and then the quality on the field with what O'Connor's putting on the field. Louisville likes winners. They're used to winning in a lot of University of Louisville sports, and they'll be attracted to the style of play, and it shows it. Great product, great stadium.
And Scott Goodwin voted the man of the match as you, the fans, tonight.
Yeah, a couple big saves keep them in the game. Obviously, you know, you kind of key the goalie to give you 1 or 2 saves.
Yeah.
To keep you in the game. They've got to make those 1 or 2 saves when it's time to do that. He did that tonight. The defense in front of him was stellar throughout, but when it was time for him to make those saves, he rose to the occasion and made them.
And again, another substitution, a couple substitutions here for Louisville City, as Magnus Rasmussen coming off, and he'll be replaced by number 22, Colin Fernandez. And it looks like Sean Reynolds, number 15, is getting set to check in, and he'll replace Brian Burke. And Brian Burke has had an absolutely phenomenal night tonight.
Him and Daker's work rate is phenomenal. They work hard on and off the ball. Again, Burke tonight did a great job, and it's a testament to their fitness, their skill, and their effort.
Absolutely. As again, in the 88th minute of play here, as Louisville City still up 3-0, and again, you hear the roars, and that's for the attendance number. But play still going on the field. Now Richmond trying to do something, but Louisville City's defense again not giving way. So again, that number 8,254, an absolutely mammoth number here, as the previous record was roughly 7,500, and now Louisville City has Matt Fondy trying to get things started. Now Guzman, and he'll lose it here. And Richmond will be able to breathe once again. It's now McCabe. He gets that up to Fernandez. Now to Guzman. A miscommunication there and a turnover. But McCabe does well to come back and win the ball back for Louisville City. And now it's headed the other way as Pollock trying to work with Fernandez, but again, Louisville City almost loses it here as they switch fields, and now Reynolds getting his first touch of the night. And they'll send that up to McCabe. McCabe sends it back to Reynolds. And Louisville City will reset, getting it all the way back to Guzman along this right side. And now Fernandez, a player I really enjoy watching, and he's really quick with the ball at his feet. And very hard to knock off with that low center of gravity. Now Quinn switching fields all the way over to Montaneau now, and now Pollock in the middle gets to Fondy. Fondy leaves it off for Fernandez. Fernandez, little mistouch there, loses it. Louisville City not giving up on it though, as they want to keep it, but ultimately give it back to Richmond. Now dangerous ball there into the box, but Louisville City defense not having to work too hard as no supporting players arrived for Richmond. Looks like we got a foul here.
Chernovsky's been very good in the middle of the back tonight. He's held his composure, held the line, stepped up when he needed to, communicated well. Anchor of the defense tonight. Anytime you do it, hopefully a shutout. We still got a little extra time to go. It's a collective, not just one person, but he was very good in the middle back.
Absolutely. Now Richmond, a chance here on this free kick. That ball sent in, but takes it a deflection off the wall. This ball's still up in the air. Richmond still trying to do something with it, but Louisville City clears. And now Fondy, it's a foot race if he can get to it. We've got 3 minutes of stoppage time here. And this one's all but a formality now, as Louisville City will leave this match with 3 points and will tie Richmond for third place in the Eastern Conference. And that's Louisville City with 2 games in hand.
And the great thing, again, scoring goals. Playing very good offensively, good spatial awareness, good movement of the ball, quality skill movement. And then again, defensively, what they worked on, getting a clean sheet. Still a couple minutes away, but O'Connor and the team have to be extremely pleased.
As Richmond again will still look to try and get something going.
And it's not bad when you have a record crowd of 8,200 and you score 3 goals and play entertaining soccer.
Absolutely.
You want to keep the fans.
And now Pollock, he's the only one racing towards this one. He's all by himself, gets to it first, sends the cross in, goes to the far post. As I believe that was, not sure who that was on the far side. That might have been McCabe.
Yeah.
Not able to redirect that one on goal or into the box.
Probably pretty greedy if he was going for the goal. Maybe try to play it back to the 6.
Well, that would have taken a absolutely magical touch to get that one, as we got another whistle here. Again, as we're moments away from this one coming to a close. And again, the crowd, some of them doing the wave, trying to get that started. And now Jeffrey standing over the ball here. He'll send this one into the box, and that one goes out of bounds. And a win off a Louisville City defender will be a corner kick here, as this might be the last opportunity for Richmond. Take this very quickly, send it into the box. Montano flicks it out. The shot takes another deflection.
All 10 guys on the other side of the ball working for that shutout.
So now Gorez.
Coopers are going crazy. Crowd is happy.
And they've certainly been treated tonight. And this ball sent into the backfield of Richmond.
Some of these guys have been out tailgating.
And there it is, the final whistle. Louisville City with 3 tremendous goals tonight over the Richmond Kickers, and move into a tie of third place in the Eastern Conference. And again, 8,254 on hand tonight, a new record at Louisville Slugger Field in attendance to see an absolutely tremendous game tonight.
Great effort by both teams. Louisville, again, finding their scoring ability, but they've lost it for so long. They're getting it back, which is great to see. It's always fun after a hard-fought game. Everyone was talking about a rough last game coming in here, guys shaking hands, saying great job to each other after a hard-fought game.
And absolutely, and the goal scorers of the night was Fondy, that first one off that beautiful cross from Burke. followed by Murat off the corner kick, and then Magnus Rasmussen with that rocket from just outside the box. And what a beautiful match tonight.
It's one of the things to do is to play hard, get your goal of a clean sheet, and score more goals, 3 than just 1. So O'Connor, the team has to be very happy with their effort, their work rate, the result, the clean sheet, and it's the 4th of July.
And a happy 4th to everybody that was able to join us tonight. On behalf of our production team, Turbo Sports Group, and all of those at Louisville City FC, for Dan Kessler, I'm Jim Womble. Once again, the final score from Slugger Field is Louisville City 3, the Richmond Kickers nothing. So long from Louisville.